This is a quick video guide on how to do an inmate search in Orlando, Florida. So to get started, click on the link in the description and it's going to take you to the specific Orlando page with the local resources in Orlando. You can also just type floridapublicrecords.net into your browser. It's going to take you to the main page here. You want to hover over other records and select inmate search. So if you click on the inmate search tab, it's going to take you to the main Florida State inmate resource page. And from here, you can select the appropriate county or the appropriate city. So in this video, we're going to look at Orlando and the local resources it offers. So you have the police department, you have the sheriff's office, and then you have the court system. The police department itself doesn't really give you an online database, but you can request records, which is more of a manual process. The sheriff's office, on the other hand, does have an inmate database that you can research online. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And as you can see, if you have a last name and a first name, which is optional, you can research the database. There's also a link for a daily booking list. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the Sheriff's Department database is they typically have inmates that have just been arrested, or maybe they're serving a short sentence and they're in the jail. So these types of databases typically don't keep records for too long. So if you want to look at the recent cases and maybe some of the older cases, you want to use the court system, because these guys, they keep their records practically forever unless maybe it's sealed by the court for some reason. So let's take a look at this database here. Here we go. You can search by name, by case number. You can even select the case type. So maybe if you're just interested in say felonies only, you just find that particular case type, and or just select none, and I think it'll just give you information for pretty much anything that pops up for that name, first name, middle name, and last name combination. So these are your local resources. Now, what you want to also check is the neighboring counties, and as you can see on top here, view official records for, and then there is multiple counties to choose from. These would be neighboring counties. People do drive from city to city, county to county, so you never know. Might want to look into that. Now we also have click here for Florida statewide inmate search resources. This is going to take you to the main Florida state page. So it has all the counties. If you click here to see all counties, these are just the top populated counties here and cities. It's going to give you the complete list here. Now, what we want to look at is the prison system. Now, the jail system is separate from the prison system. Typically, if somebody gets arrested and they go to court and they get sentenced to over 12 months, so maybe it's a felony or a serious, maybe it's a repeat offender, they're not going to keep them in the local jail, so you won't find them in that database. So you got to go check the Florida Department of Corrections database, and we got a link for that in here. Just click on the link, then you have multiple different options here, and just pick the first one here. Search all corrections offender databases. If you got a first name and a last name or a DC number, you can research this database. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you have the search box on top with a name and a last name. But what this is, this is a premium service, so there is a fee. But what it does is it doesn't just look at Orlando, it doesn't just look at the state of Florida, it also goes outside the state. So it compiles records from multiple states, a nationwide look into somebody's background. People do move around, particularly to Florida, so you never know if they might have a record elsewhere. And because it compiles records into a single system, it saves you a lot of time. So you don't have to bounce around from, let's say, an Orlando database and then maybe go to another city or county database. It compiles all these records into a single system, and it's practically instantaneous. So it's a great tool to use if you want to make sure you're not missing anything on top of the local resources. So once again, there should be a link in the description. Click on that and come on down and get started on your Orlando, Florida inmate search.